Okay. I should have done better with my makeup this morning. Whew. So, beloveds, today is Tiara and Top Hat Sunday. This is a day to celebrate, to radiate joy and pride in, well, just being absolutely fabulous. Fabulous and the drag queen superstar and endlessly talented RuPaul Sent, who said, when you become the image of your own imagination, it's the most powerful thing you could ever do. And it is that power that we are practicing, that we received this day, that power to delight in beauty, that power to adorn ourselves with whatever makes us feel present and alive and radiant. That power to play, that power to experiment, to shimmer, to take up space. Do we need to take up some space right now? We need to take up some space with a little extra sparkle, with a little blending and blurring and subverting of so-called norms, hello, whatever, that have never held all of us anyway. The power to say out loud and without apology, this place was built for you. This place was built for us and all of us. And here we strive to affirm not only in our welcome, our radical welcome here, but in how we live out our principles in our lives each and every day, beyond these walls, in how we show up, in how we vote, in where we spend our time and our money, and how we love. So yes to tiaras and top hats. Yes to the beauty, however we define beauty for ourselves. Yes to being the kind of place where our children and our youth and adults can be our full and authentic selves. Because right now, the danger and the risk and the trauma of this time is so very real. We are watching and witnessing the machinery of power reach for even more insidious control. We are witnessing raids and deportations that are tearing families apart and chilling entire communities into silence. Court battles over due process and who gets to belong. That steady beat, that drumbeat of policies that are targeting our trans and queer beloveds for simply existing open and safely. We're seeing books pulled from shelves and Black and queer history being erased from public spaces. Thank goodness we read a banned book this morning. Amen. Here we read banned books because no book should be banned. We know that teachers are being threatened. We know that protesters are being branded as enemies of the state, and anyone with brown skin is being detained, harassed, and disappeared. Journalists treated like a problem to be managed and bullied into silence instead of pillars of accountability for truths to be told. Our institutions are the pillars of democracy. And as a faith tradition, we are one of those pillars of accountability. But beloveds, we are not alone in this witnessing. We know around this country and around the world, strong men and would-be strong men are using the same tired playbook: scapegoat the vulnerable, punish dissent, rewrite reality, and dare the rest of us to look away. So this is exactly why we put on tiaras and top hats anyway. You thought it was going to be all fluff, right? Right? Have you heard me say yet, I come with a warning label? Here we do hard things in high heels with sparkles. Because beauty is not a distraction from the struggle. Beauty is a form of resilience inside the struggle. I feel that joy expands our capacity to keep showing up. A playful heart keeps the spirit from collapsing into cynicism. Adornment in ever so fabulous ways are small, holy acts of defiance that say, you don't get my wonder. You don't get my body. You don't get to take my joy. You don't get to decide who is worthy of dignity. You don't get to grind us down into conformity, silence, or shame. You got that? Beauty, delight, and actively choosing joy keeps our heart open and soft. Even as we grow calloused in all the right places, the UCR writing group had a really wonderful conversation about that this week. Keeping our hearts open is part of that, but sometimes those calluses are important as well, because we callous our hearts against cruelty. We callous our hearts against lies. We callous ourselves against the slow erosion of one another's dignity. In the face of fascism, choosing delight is one way we stay connected to our humanity. And that staying connected to our shared humanity, it's not sentimental, and yes, I am Pollyanna-ish, Chaplain Bubbles, you can say all the things. But it is not sentimental. It is fundamental to living as a Unitarian Universalist in this day and age, where interdependence is a sacred value and a covenant that we live into each and every day. So in this day with our tiara and top hats, as we embody our resilience, as we delight in beauty and actively choose that joy. But wait, there is actually scientific research to back this up. I know my people. Researchers have a name for what happens when we put on something that means something. It's called enclothed cognition. You can look it up. In studies, when people wore something that carried a clear symbolic story, objects of symbols of authority, care, competence, or power, they didn't just feel different, they performed differently, with a sharper focus and a greater confidence. Enclothed cognition, I know it's a mouthful, but that enclothed cognition reinforces the reality that our bodies are listening all the time. And what we wrap around ourselves can become a cue. Remember who you are. Remember whose you are. Remember what you stand for. Remember what your values are. Remember that you are not alone. Symbols have power when we inhabit them. So, beloveds, let us be all the way fabulous then, in all of our complexity and joy, even as we struggle for justice each and every day. Let us be fabulous in beloved community. This place where we come to and return to for that shared strength and courage, that resilience and hope. Because as the prophet Audre Lorde reminds us, there is no liberation without what? Community. There is no liberation without community. None. We do not get free alone, beloveds. We do not heal alone. We do not resist alone. We do this together, with our hands linked and our hearts turned toward one another again and again. Some of you may remember Tiara Sunday from not so long ago, when back in January of 2021, when our beloved former ministerial intern, Matthew P. Taylor, led a Beyoncé-themed service that Matthew titled, "All Hail the Queen, Rest in Power, Our Beloved Matthew." Matthew offered a message of self-care and embodied resilience that was also a message of holy resistance. They invited us to shift, not because the world had become gentle. They invited us to shift because we are claiming the kind of power that refuses to be erased. So I'll bring Matthew's words into this space as they said to us, we shift because we are the example for the youth. Actually, I'll invite you to say that with me. We shift because we are the example for the youth. We shift because we are learning from our ancestors and our elders. We shift because we are learning from our ancestors and our elders. We shift because we are building the world we believe in. We shift because we are building the world we believe in. We shift because it is an act of self-care. We shift because it is an act of self-care. We shift because we are no longer afraid. We shift because we are no longer afraid. We shift because the time is now. We shift because the time is now. We shift because it is our work to do. We shift because it is our work to do. I bring these words back to us today as a blessing and as a charge and in memory of our beloved Matthew. In the honor of all the ones who have taught us how to keep our dignity when the world tries to steal it. In the honor of those who have always had to be brave just to be visible. In honor of our youth who are watching. In honor of our ancestors who keep whispering, keep going, keep going. So I'll invite you now, whatever fabulous thing you may have, physically or symbolically, if you have a tiara, a top hat, or a scrunchie, or whatever, I invite you to touch it or to take it off and place it again on your head or wherever it may be. Feel its weight, however light or heavy. Feel what it symbolizes to you, the charge, the blessing, the encouragement, the embodiment of your value, our values, as a symbol of belonging and resistance. And as Matthew said to us just a few years ago, I'll ask you to repeat after me. I am royalty. I am sovereignty. I am holy. I am holy. I am holy. Amen, Ashe, and blessed be. Amen. Justin, would you mind playing just a little bit quietly while I introduce the glitter blessing? Yeah, please. Just a little bit, just a little bit. So Reverend Karn and I are going to now move into a time of a glitter blessing. Aha, glitter. This is community medicine. This glitter blessing is from Hannah Roberts, Phil Nave, Kyla Parker, Kaylin Collar, Coilberg. Today we offer a glitter blessing in recognition of the sacred beauty inherent in every person.
Glitter has long been a symbol for the LGBTQ plus movement of gritty, sparkly hope in the face of prejudice and oppression, of joy and pride in the face of hatred and of bigotry.
Glitter is resilient and tenacious. Just ask any elementary school teacher or parent. The briefest beam of sunlight causes it to shine out even in the dustiest and dreariest of spaces, and its beauty comes from its brokenness.
Glitter sparkles because it has many different broken pieces coming together, changing in every moment as our light changes.
This glitter that we share with each other today is a reminder that each of us is beautiful in our shared imperfection, our ever-changing selves, our glorious plurality.
As we play some music, you are invited to come forward, show us where on your face or your neck, your arm, your hand, where you would like to receive your glitter blessing, and then circle back to your seat. Go to one of the 3 tables to place a stone of intention, gratitude, or remembrance. If you cannot come forward today and wish to receive this blessing, just raise your hand, and one of us will come to you.
For our beloveds who are present online, we invite you to post in the chat who or what is on your heart this day, or a candle or stone emoji. Welcome, beloveds. Come forward for our blessing. As we're wrapping up the last few blessings, I invite you just to pause and behold. Perhaps the folks online can look around the room. As we come to the close of this ritual, I invite you just to behold the beauty in this space, these shining faces and sparkly spirits that are surrounding us. It's an amazing thing when we can be together in this moment, in this sacred space together. Everyone, here and beyond. It is a holy gift and blessing. Every person is a sacred being made of stardust. Let us just marvel in how glittery and fabulous we are this day.